David Attenborough's just come out with a fascinating documentary, not about live animals in the world today, but about dinosaurs, called Dinosaurs: The Final Day. Interestingly enough, a year ago, Forbes ran an article called Jurassic Leadership and the Dinosaur Within Us, arguing that dinosaurs, in fact, have not had their final day. Amazingly, there is a biblical animal described in the 6 days of creation called Taninim Gedolim, the great reptiles, and there's discussion in ancient commentaries and modern, what are they? Some suggest they're these giant sea monsters. Some say they're reptiles that walk the world to this day, such as crocodiles that are called sometimes snakes, and some say they're actual parts of our being and brain, sometimes called the Yetzirah, certain drives and inclinations. Others see them in certain cultures that evolve and develop in certain ways. And we today have a similar model. The dinosaur genes, the reptilian brain that lives inside our brain. You see, dinosaurs obviously had brains, but their brain was what we call the brain stem, or the modern reptilian brain that's there in humans to this day. It controls things such as territory, fight or flight, reproduction. And it means that the animal gets to invest an enormous amount of its time in power, control, reproduction, fight or flight, stuff that actually lives inside us to this day and produces a certain energy of leadership, but actually produces so much of our own inner destruction and outer destruction too. We can still feel the living dinosaur, whether it's in politics and the kill or be killed for power type of thing, whether it's in warfare and struggles that way, whether it's in more subtle forms, in office dynamics and those types of things, whether it's in the tragic, explosive, lustful drives that lead people to affairs and destruction of marriages. There's a lot of dinosaur energy within us. Those Taninim Gedolim, whatever they were, those Leviathan, as it's described, the Leviathan that's sort of there throughout the early big sea creatures. And within each of us, the rabbis tell us in the final moment of history, they depict the world to come as the Sudash Leviathan, where you can eat and consume that Leviathan. When you control it, it doesn't control you. When you can be energized and lifted by it, but actually gaining control of our inner world is a struggle against the dinosaurs. So maybe the dinosaurs dominating the world were wiped out in a day that David Attenborough describes to us so eloquently and brilliantly. But the struggle with the dinosaur, the taming of the dinosaur, is something that becomes a part of our work individually, as families, as cultures, and as the whole of humanity to this day.